here in Derby at North Country Union Junior High School, and today we are talking to the family of Juniper Creative Arts.
After this week, we will start installing your artwork, and it will literally give this piece life.
It's creating at the intersection of spirituality, community, healing, and justice.
These murals are conceptualized and led by y'all.
I want to make the middle look like a galaxy.
Yeah.
They're spending 2 weeks here making a collaborative mural with the students.
We like to affectionately call the work we've been doing this year as the Juniper Creative Tour.
You ready to make art?
Ready to make some art?
Yeah.
All right.
So you see
So
how
right
they'll
now
come
we-
together and then they'll continue to stack that way. So Will, can you get across
The falcon is their school mascot.
Well, and the wings are going to be like the school colors, so that's maroon and blue.
So what we do is we bring 40 years of combined experience. We've been doing this a very long time.
Juniper Creative Arts formed 2 years ago. In that time, they have painted 20 murals across the state, including the Wall of Respect at Main Street Landing, which features 100 people of color, and it takes your breath away.
So our whole thing is making sure that we're telling these stories from a place of joy, from a place of love, and from a place of respect. And we're willing to have those tough conversations regardless of who has a problem with it. Because when people bring us in, they understand that. When people are like, oh, we want to hire Juniper Creative, you know we're painting black, right? Let's make that clear. We're not trying to come in to be intentionally controversial, but we know that it's controversial along just being black. So being a black artist, not just in Vermont, but in the world, will always be a challenge.
Meeting them was like an inspiration. He inspired me to do art.
Kids can look up at these murals and feel represented. They feel like they can see themselves in the work that we're doing, which I couldn't say for myself.
Well, being part of it is cool because I've never been on the wall.
He's representing the mystical creature part, falcon. It's this creature that they conceptualized and created.
People come outside, they can see me. Like, I'm on the wall. That's one of the best things to be confident about.
If you're ready to start, there are your colors right there. So you're gonna want to paint the whole thing first.
I was working on one of the sunflowers to surround them in the field.
You started making these honeycomb shapes yesterday, right? Bees and butterflies and some hummingbirds.
The whole school can come together to transform a yard into a place for art.
And I've always wanted to have an artist in residence come to the school, but it's, with COVID, it's been very isolating. So this has just been a wonderful experience to kind of bring the community back together and work towards a common goal and have people from our community come in and share their knowledge and their experience with students as well. We all met up and started brainstorming stuff, all the ideas.
We wanted to include like everybody's opinions and stuff.
It is a birch log. We're using it as a bat, and there's dance shoes hanging off the end of it.
Especially once we come more into these rural communities, we have met students of color, and the narrative is pretty consistent. Either they feel like they haven't been seen, or their experiences are kind of glossed over. And the only time it's like we tend to talk about these things is where something violent happens.
There's only like 3 or 4 dark skins here. Try to explain to kids that we all bleed the same, color is just a thing, and that they should be treated the way that they want to be treated.
And it's also a family
Yes.
collaboration.
Yeah.
It's honestly amazing working with my parents. We are just like a well-oiled machine with 3 different parts. We have our own specialties that we all collectively bring to the table. People are shocked when they see us come in and we're able to produce this whole thing, and they're like, wait, just the 3 of you? Yes.
She became the model for the mural that we did for American Flatbread in Middlebury. She showed up as Khalees, which was our first Afro-Pollinator.
Yeah.
The correlation between the endangerment of black people
And
and
the
the
endangerment
endangerment
of
of pollinators.
Because I grew up here right in Vermont, never getting to see anything that looks like what we've been doing. I never had something like this, and to know that there are little black and brown girls who get to see me in that light, and they're like, okay, she's living and breathing and thriving, and she's not endangered. It feels really amazing.
We like to work from an authentic place around the community mural movement that got started in the 60s, which gives those communities ownership and sense of accountability around the art. If they are participating in its creative process, in the brainstorming process, the design process, the installation process, when we walk away, they take ownership of it.
Everybody's done their part in making this, and I was pretty proud.
It's awesome to like have an opportunity to work with people from the community to make something permanent like this, to leave a mark.
Tell me about your connection to Vermont.
Well, actually, this is where Jennifer and I met.
Yeah.
We got to take that back 10 years.
So we both are transplants to the state from urban areas.
Yeah, Jennifer's from Manhattan, I'm from New Jersey. So I came up in the graffiti and street art movement. And I remember telling Jennifer, I was like, yo, I want to paint everything in the state if I could, right? Because I don't think anyone's looking at the possibilities especially from community organizing, the benefit of the arts, especially the benefit of public art.
We're here at North Country Union High School, and behind me is a mural that Juniper Creative Arts did 1 year ago.
They came to the high school last year and they did an artist in residency at the high school, and I'm very good friends with the art teachers at the high school, and they just were raving about the experience and just the creativity and the involvement of the students.
So when we took them through their brainstorming, a lot of what we were hearing, especially smack in the middle 1 year into a pandemic, and they were back in school again, feeling isolated and caged. The only thing that kept running through my head was the Maya Angelou poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. There's sort of like this tree that morphs into a dragon that breathes, rainbow fire, breaking open the cage, releasing the phoenix.
And when they get to the high school, that narrative continues because they also have representation there as well. And that's really important.
Especially when it comes down to black people. Oh, ain't no black people around. Well, that's a lie. There isn't many of us, but we're here, and our presence is here. It's just that somebody has to be confident enough and courageous enough to tell those stories. So if we start seeing black people on walls, whether they're in rural, predominantly white communities or whether they're in inner city, you start to change your narrative of what you can be. So instead of putting pictures of kids on walls that are dying from violent means, between the early teenage and early 20s, put them up there as kids, get them to participate. So by the time they are our age, things could be better, because this is what's going to help change the future. This is what's going to make sure that 20, 30 years from now, we're not dealing with the same thing.
I did that. That was the one that I painted.
They can really make a positive impact in their school environment, in their community as a whole, and in the state. And that art is a really powerful way of communicating your wants and your desires and your expectations for your future.
They find a love in painting, in making art,
in creation,
and creation, and tapping into their imaginations.
This video was filmed on May 12th. Here are some pictures of the mural in progress on May 18th. Be on the lookout for more from Juniper Creative Arts, and we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon. Beep.
Who am I gonna match with?
Oh, right.
That was completely unplanned.
Like one giant image.
Overall. Oh my God. I love it all. I wish you would come to my elementary school.
That's what everyone says.
Why didn't you?